My mom got together with my ex-fiancé, and now I have a half-brother. Hey Reddit, I never thought I'd be sharing this, but I feel like I need to get it off my chest. This is a long one, so buckle up. So, here's the situation. I, 28 female, was engaged to a guy, Evan, 32 male, about 3 years ago. We had been together for almost 4 years and were planning to get married. Everything was set, venues booked, dresses bought, even the honeymoon was planned. But about 6 months before the wedding, things started going downhill. We began to argue a lot, mostly about the future, where to live, how many kids we wanted, and so on. It was stressful, and eventually, Evan decided to call it off. We broke up, and it was devastating for me. During the relationship, Evan had gotten really close to my mom, Lily, 53 female. They'd talk a lot, and she was always on his side, telling me to be patient and that he was just under a lot of stress. I thought she was just trying to help us, you know? Be supportive. But looking back, maybe there was more to it. After Evan and I broke up, I was a wreck. My mom was there for me, though, which I really appreciated. She didn't badmouth him, just comforted me and helped me through the heartbreak. Slowly, I started to put myself back together. I focused on my career, spent more time with friends, and even started dating casually again. A little over a year after the breakup, I noticed my mom was acting weird. She started dressing differently, paying more attention to her appearance, and she was out of the house a lot more. She said she was reconnecting with old friends and enjoying her life, which I thought was great. She's been single for years since my dad passed away when I was little, so I figured she was finally doing things for herself. But then, she started dodging my calls, or when we did talk, she seemed distant. It was like she was keeping something from me. I didn't push her, though, because I wanted to respect her privacy. She deserved to have her own life. Then, last summer, she asked me to come over because she had something important to tell me. I remember feeling nervous, like I knew something big was coming. When I got there, she looked different. She was glowing, almost like she was in love. And then she dropped the bomb. She and Evan had reconnected after our breakup. They started talking, and one thing led to another. She told me they had been seeing each other for about a year now, and, here's the kicker, she was pregnant. My mom was pregnant with my ex-fiancé's child. I was in shock. I felt like the ground had been ripped out from under me. I didn't even know what to say. My own mother was having a baby with the man I was supposed to marry? It felt like a betrayal on every level. I remember just sitting there, numb, as she tried to explain. She said they hadn't planned on falling for each other, but it just happened. They connected in a way they never expected, and she didn't want to keep it from me anymore. Evan apparently wanted to be involved, and they were planning to raise the baby together. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I walked out and didn't speak to her for months. I felt so betrayed, so confused. How could she do this to me? How could he? I moved out of the city for a while to clear my head and put some distance between us. It was the hardest time of my life. Fast forward to now. My mom had the baby, a little boy, and I guess that makes him my half-brother. They named him Liam. I haven't met him yet. My mom's been reaching out, trying to mend things between us, and Evan sent me a letter apologizing, saying he never meant to hurt me. But honestly, I don't know if I can ever forgive them. It's not just the betrayal, it's the fact that they started a life together when I was still trying to piece mine back together after our breakup. It's been tough. I've been in therapy, which has helped me process everything, but I still feel so conflicted. Part of me wants to try to rebuild some kind of relationship with my mom because, well, she's my mom. But another part of me feels like things can never be the same. The trust is gone, and I don't know if it can ever be rebuilt. The thing is, I can't help but wonder about Liam. He's just an innocent baby in all of this, and it's not his fault. I feel guilty for not being there, for not wanting to be involved. But at the same time, how can I be a part of this new family when it was built on something so painful for me? I guess I'm sharing this because I don't know what to do next. Has anyone else ever been in a situation like this? How do you even begin to move forward? Any advice would be really appreciated because I feel so lost. Thanks for reading. Edit. Thank you all for the overwhelming support and advice. It's been really helpful to hear from others who've gone through similar situations or just from people who want to lend a kind word. I'm still processing everything, but I'm starting to think about what healing might look like, whether that means reconciling with my mom or just finding peace on my own. I'll keep you all updated. Update. Hey Reddit, I'm back with an update that I honestly wish I didn't have to share. If you didn't see my original post, the short version is that my mom, 53 female, got together with my ex-fiancé, Evan, 32 male, after we broke up. They now have a baby together, Liam, who's my half-brother. It's been an incredibly tough situation, and I've been trying to figure out how to move forward, especially with my mom. But things just got a whole lot worse. So, after much back and forth and months of therapy, I decided it was time to meet Liam. A lot of you encouraged me to at least meet my half-brother, and I felt like I owed it to myself to try. I wasn't sure how I'd feel seeing my mom and Evan together, but I wanted to give it a shot. I was hoping it would be a step toward healing, or at least some closure. I reached out to my mom, and she was thrilled that I wanted to come over. We set a date for me to visit. I was nervous as hell but kept telling myself that it was just about meeting the baby, nothing more. When I got there, my mom greeted me at the door with a huge smile, and she had Liam in her arms. He's just a baby, so innocent and unaware of all the drama surrounding his existence. He's adorable, and I can't deny there was a part of me that immediately felt something for him. He's my brother, after all. The first part of the visit was awkward but okay. We sat in the living room, and I held Liam for a while. My mom kept talking about how happy she was that I was there and how much she wanted us all to be a family. I just nodded along, still trying to process everything. Evan was around too, and to be honest, it was really uncomfortable seeing him play the doting dad and partner to my mom. But I kept my focus on Liam and tried to keep the peace. Then, the disaster happened. I needed to use the bathroom, so I excused myself and went down the hall. While I was washing my hands, Evan suddenly walked in and closed the door behind him. I was shocked and asked him what the hell he was doing. He just smirked and said he wanted to talk to me in private. I immediately felt sick to my stomach. He started saying how he'd been thinking about me and how much he missed what we had. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Before I could react, he moved closer and tried to kiss me. I pushed him away, hard, and told him to get out. He just laughed it off and said something about how we both knew we still had chemistry. I was furious. I stormed out of the bathroom, shaking with anger, and went straight to my mom. I told her everything, how Evan had just tried to kiss me and that he clearly wasn't the person she thought he was. And here's the part that hurts the most: she didn't believe me. My own mother looked me in the eyes and said I must have misunderstood or that I was overreacting. When I insisted, she got defensive and accused me of trying to sabotage her relationship with Evan. She said I was just jealous that they were happy together and that I couldn't stand to see them as a family. I couldn't believe it. I was so angry and hurt that I just left. I didn't even say goodbye to Liam. Since then, my mom has been sending me messages, but they're not what you'd expect. She's saying things like how disappointed she is in me, how she never thought I'd stoop so low, and that I need to accept that she and Evan are together now. Evan hasn't reached out, which is probably for the best because I don't know what I'd say to him. I feel like I'm losing my mind. How can she not believe me? How can she think I'd make something like this up? I'm so angry at Evan for putting me in this situation, but I'm even more devastated by my mom's reaction. I've always had a complicated relationship with her, but this feels like a breaking point. I don't know what to do now. I feel like I've lost my mom, and any chance of having a relationship with my half-brother is probably gone too. I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive her for choosing him over me, especially after what he tried to do. Has anyone been through something like this? How do I even begin to move forward? I feel so alone in this, and I don't know who to turn to anymore.